The first week of school is in the books, and some students say New York's new bell-to-bell cell phone ban is taking some getting used to.
Carolyn Gusoff visited a high school in South Huntington to find out how distraction-free learning is going so far.
A special bell's been added to the school day at Walt Whitman High School. It's the daily deadline for ditching devices. And suddenly, digital natives no longer have heads down and ears plugged. Instead of talking to text, they're talking to each other.
How you doing? At first, I was really torn up about it, and then now I kind of like in lunch we'll all talk the whole period.
But they admit it's a hard addiction to break.
You're used to playing music in the hallways or, listening to music during class or something like that, so it's really hard.
It's such a habit that I always had it. That's why I feel like it's weird, but I feel like it's good though because I'm more focused in class.
I was apprehensive. Now I see the positives of it.
Principal John Murphy favored their previous policy of no phones during just academic periods, but so far gives the bell-to-bell ban high marks.
The uptick in positive energy, we've been able to see students really actively engage.
Board games are suddenly a hit in the lunchroom.
The kids are actually being kids and interacting with their peers, and I think that was what the heart of this initiative was.
The last few years with the phones, it's really like an epidemic, and I couldn't get through a lesson without the notifications going off, and I feel like learning suffered.
Now electronics are only allowed for lessons and internal school email. And there are new lessons.
We're actually having mock conversations with students because they're not used to having a conversation. They're used to this.
So far, only 3 smuggling violations. Phones can be confiscated and repeat offenders could face suspension. But some have discovered a legal workaround.
Emailing throughout the day, so we all figured that out, sort of. So we can still talk, but still be respectful to the ban.
And if a student needs to phone home during the day, there's always old school. More landlines are now throughout the building, but in many cases, students will have to learn their parents' phone numbers. In South Huntington, Long Island, Carolyn Gusoff, CBS News, New York.
It was a short first week of school for many students in our area, but 2 days was actually more than enough time for opinions to roll in on New York's bell-to-bell cell phone ban. And those opinions, well, they're all over the map. Education reporter Doug Williams has this story.
City Schools Chancellor Melissa Aviles Ramos spent an hour at New Pathways Academy in the Bronx on Friday on day 2 of the bell-to-bell cell phone ban.
What has it been like?
It's easier to interact with people because sometimes when you're with your friends talking to them, telling them stuff, sometimes they're just scrolling on their phone, just listening and not listening to anything you're saying.
Having a release from the phone could give them a time to break, focus, help them improve their skills.
Gives us more time to focus.
Yes, you heard them correctly. These are kids, some of them teenagers, saying they'd rather focus on each other and their schoolwork than social media.
Me, I'm a very extroverted person. I like to be around people. Being on the phone, I feel like it really just takes you away.
They haven't all been glowing reviews. We spoke to students on Thursday on the Upper West Side who didn't like how their phones were stored, and a concerned mom whose daughter's phone was still off at pickup. A student in Queens described her fears of not being able to contact her parents in an emergency. But when a hazmat situation developed at a school in Westchester County on Thursday, one mom told us the ban was helpful.
I was actually pleased that they didn't have phones because I think there would have probably been more confusion. Getting just one message from the school is probably better than a million different rumors.
The city schools chancellor says she does plan to have conversations with students at schools that are still figuring out the process, like that you have to silence your phone before you lock it in the pouch.
That's something that I forgot to do this morning.
In the Bronx, Doug Williams, CBS News, New York.
Schools across New York State were required, by the way, to come up with their own procedures to implement this new full-day ban. Perhaps this time next year we'll be thinking just another normal day at school, right?
I mean, it's nice when they're saying we're having to learn how to have conversations. I mean, that's kind of what being in school is about, not texting.
Yes, social skills.
We're aging ourselves, but